Hello. Welcome back to my channel. This is my budget plans. And we are back. I am back, finally, with a kind of a life update video. But on this channel, we do budgeting, savings challenges, and all the things because we are trying to pay off debt and reach our financial goals. You guys, what has been up? The break that I am coming back from, honestly, was longer than I anticipated. The break in and of itself was completely and totally unexpected. I don't even remember what I was doing before. I think I was doing my scratch off manias, which I am definitely going to bring back. But I'm gonna try to change it up some and stuff, but I'm gonna get to that. So let me just tell y'all, first of all, everybody is doing good. Pumpkin's doing good, Peanut's good, Sweet Pea's good, and Husband is good. Everybody is good. Everybody is in good health. That was not the issue. So you guys remember about, sorry y'all. y'all know. Y'all already know. And Sweet Pea, she's all over the place. She's about to be two. Pumpkin, not Pumpkin. I call her Pumpkin too, though. But Sweet Pea is about to be 2, and she is all over the place, climbing and talking and just doing all the things. All right, so backtrack. So around last October, y'all know that I recently had started a new job. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know that I recently started a new job. And that job was, I went to that job because I was experiencing somewhat of a hostile environment at that job before that one, right? And so, I've always learned that, if you feel that things are getting too hot, and not of anything of your own doing, but if you just feel that things are not right or whatever, you go, put yourself out there and see what you can do. So that environment drove me to my new job. And y'all, I loved it. I loved my new job. I didn't love the pay because as y'all remember, it was a $12,000 pay cut. And that was, it was hard. It was. And, it was hard financially, and we had to revisit some things. We had to reconfigure our budget and do a lot of different things, right? So that was one thing. That was one aspect. And then back in April, I had only been there for 6 months. And y'all, I was involuntarily resigned from that position. Picking up what I'm putting down. So not of anything that I did. I was fresh off of orientation. They asked me to do something. I did it, and it wasn't done the way that they thought it was done or whatever. I don't know. I just felt like when I was trying to explain and correct what they were trying to tell me to correct, they were not trying to hear me. I was accused of something extremely unfair. And they told me that I had to go. And what's crazy about it is because what happened, everything that happened transpired through email. And so when I was trying to explain myself, I asked my managers, like, hey, can we hop on a call so that I can, explain what I'm doing, and I want to show you what I'm doing, how A concluded to B, and so on and so forth. You okay, Mommy? Okay. Come on, Mama. Oh, you have to be careful. Okay, so I was trying to explain. I requested a phone call. They said that we would get, we would talk about it, and that I could further explain to them what was going on and how they wanted me to, to go forward and how to proceed, because I wanted guidance, and I thought what I was doing was the right thing. I did. I really did. I would never purposely do anything to jeopardize my job. You know, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. We have 3 kids, and in this economy, who's doing that? You know, who's doing that? So, they told me that I would be able to talk to them once it was corrected, and I, sent them emails and gave them updates throughout the, and from beginning to end, I was talking to them regarding the mistake or whatever that was made, right? So, once I corrected it and, all that got squared away, I reached out and was like, hey, I'm ready to, discuss, ready to discuss what's going on, my side. And they told me that they couldn't do it at that time. So then the next day, I was like, okay, then, that's fine. I just, just as long as you guys know, I really want to explain what's going on and, showing you what exactly I'm doing. And like, mind you, from the moment they asked me to make the correction to the moment that they told me that my services were no longer needed, I was keeping in contact with them the entire time. Because I work remotely, so I'm sending screenshots and sending updated paper or updated documents and all of the things, like being completely and 100% transparent with them. And so the next day, I get into the meeting thinking that I'm about to be able to explain my side, and it just did not go that way. I was relieved of my duties, and that was that. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. It was extremely world rocking, if I could say it like that. I have never, ever been in this type of predicament before. I got my first job when I was 16 years old. I am 38 now. I have never, ever experienced something to this magnitude. And I felt that it was really unfair. I did not get a chance to explain my side. And the person who made the accusation was also new, right along with me. We started at the same time, but she was in a leadership position. So it was like, oh, okay, I really thought there was going to be some leniency because I didn't know that I was supposed to make an edit that way or whatever. And this is how I know that it was completely and totally wrong on their part, because I spoke to someone and they said that they were able to do the same thing with no type of consequence. Never thought that it was an issue. None of that. So anyway, all that to say, this time was very, very trying. That's the first time I've never had a job. I mean, first time ever going without a job. First time ever having to file unemployment. First time ever having to not having health insurance. And, my babies were going through something that required health insurance and we didn't have it at the time. And that was trying to get medications, and it was just quite literally one thing after the other. And when I tell y'all, it completely rocked my world, it did. I feel like I have dealt with the emotions of it. It's like when I think about it and I think about the things that happen, I don't get upset anymore. Like I don't cry about it anymore. But the hurt is still is definitely still there, because I would never purposely or underhandedly do anything to put my job in jeopardy, right? And like knowing that something like this happened, or they thought this of me when that clearly was not the case, that's where we are. So I had to do some reflecting. I definitely had to do some revamping of our budget. I had to tap into all of our savings. I even had to tap into my baby's savings, and I feel really awful about that. I didn't tap into their 529s or nothing, but the accounts that I started for their high yields, I had to tap into those. Very, very upset with that. Very upset with myself. And that's the thing. I think when something like this happens, you really do blame yourself, because it's one thing. How people, it's like, oh, well, it ain't no thing, baby. I can get me another job. I have never been like that. My work ethic has always been solid. I take pride in doing my work. I take pride in doing things correctly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like a work warrior, like I'm looking and making sure everybody else doing it. But the one thing I do is make sure that I do things the way that they are supposed to be done. I like to know expectations. I like to know all those things. And I pride myself on making sure that I'm doing those things correctly. And so when this happened to me, like, I immediately told my husband, and I was hysterical, y'all. Hysterical, because nothing like this has ever happened to me. And the first thing I thought about were my babies. Like, ooh, I'm trying not to get upset. The first thing that I really thought about were my children. Like, oh my God, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that? How do you do this? And, you know, I talked to my mom and I talked to my best friend, and like, oh, you know, just file unemployment, you know, it's going to be okay. And I'm grateful for those things. But, I mean, it's not hitting on nothing. But, I mean, it's better than zero. So it helped, and it did. We stayed afloat. We did not go lacking. But, I mean, there were times where it's like, how am I going to get diapers for my baby? How are we going to get food? And granted, you know, like, going from a 2-income household to a 1, that's hard, especially when, like, you've already mandated, like, you know, my husband's income goes to these things, mine goes to these things, and we had to figure it out. But the thing about it is, like, when you go through something like that and the traumatic aftermath that you deal with, it's hard. And, you know, I talked to my husband too. I've considered getting a therapist. I've looked for some, but I haven't taken that leap yet, but I do feel like it's coming soon. It's something I'm very, very open about and very, you know, passionate about mental health. And although like, I am okay generally, I'm working, I did get another job. I am, and that's the thing. So through all of that, budgeting went out the window. Completely gone. We have to literally start over from zero. So we are rebuilding, revamping, doing all the things. And it's just a lot. It really was a lot. And I just could not find the fortitude to get back up here. At first I was like, you know what? It's going to be all right. I'm going to just use my unemployment checks, and I'm going to, budget what we can and save what we can and do what we can, And at that point, I was, before this happened, I was very, I was very adamant about trying to grow my channel. Like, I've been sitting at the same amount of subscribers since February of this year. Watch hours, y'all, what's that? So, honestly, that's going to just have to take a back seat. Honestly, I just want to get back on track. Get back to connecting with you all. Get back to doing my challenges. When I tell y'all all these things, ooh, I don't even know what that is. When I tell y'all all these things is empty, it is empty. I haven't even had the audacity to erase the tractors yet, y'all. Like, all of it. So, yeah. And the thing about it is, I was hesitant to do this video because I was going to say, like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to just, when I get my first full paycheck from my new job, that's when I'll start or whatever. But I really did want to come on and give an update. Like, I went out. It was like because when it happened, it was honestly like a light just went out. It was a time that my husband and I really had to really trust God. Like, listen, God, you said A, B, C, and D. You said this, and this. So we're believing and we're trusting that you're going to come through. And he did. He really did. I didn't really tell a lot of people while we were in the midst of that. And, I just didn't feel the need to do that. But also there was embarrassment involved. There was Like, because there's always going to be that one person. And not that I care about what people think, but I don't. But I also just don't want to deal or come into interaction with that one person that's like, oh, well, why would you, blah, blah, blah. And because there's always one. So I didn't really want to deal with that. I did not want to engage at all because honestly, I probably would have crashed out. And I did not want to do that because that Rissa is gone and she's been gone for a long time. So, overall, things are starting to really look up. Things are beginning to get back on track. Things are definitely a lot better. And this is how I know that God came through. He came through because that $12,000 that I lost out on going to this job, I have recouped in my new job. So I'm very, very thankful to the Lord for restoring what was. And it's only going to be up from there. Now, I got some concerns about the new place, but I'm going to be honest, it doesn't even matter. Like, after dealing with something like this, having no job, my baby's not having health insurance, and I'm not having health, because I was carrying all of our health insurance. Like, I was doing it for everyone because my husband's, his stuff is ridiculously expensive. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. We're all going to do it. So we all lost health insurance for a while. And then like with the current, Medicaid cuts and stuff like that, I had to apply for it because I didn't know how long I was going to be without a job. And I didn't want to, wait around to see if I would get another one. Luckily, thankfully, blessedly, I did get one. So, I didn't have to worry about Medicaid too much and stuff like that. But, it's just so, it's gut-wrenching going through something like that. And until I was completely humbled, I pride myself on, never having to go through something like that. And, it was just a personal victory that I felt that was a good one. But I'm going to be honest, like now that I've gone through it, I'm no longer scared to do things like that. But of course I would never put my job in jeopardy. I have never been overwhelmingly loyal to a place, but I've also use what I needed to get what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like listen, I'm here to do my job, get my check, and I'm here to take care of my family. Like, that's it. And then I went to nursing school, y'all. And that was another thing that really, really got to me. I went to nursing school so that I would not have to know financial hardships. Okay? And so here I am without this job, not of my own accord, because I will leave a job. If I feel like I'm not happy, I will find another job. That's not my problem. But I'm not going to just up and quit with no plan. That has never been me. Whether it was just me by myself or now, I have never been like that. Like, I know nurses, we can get a job anywhere, and which is true. But for the type of job that I want, it is a specialty. And it's not necessarily hard to get into for me because I have the experience. But y'all, if y'all are in this job market is no joke. It is hard out here. And I don't know if it's because, I'm getting a little older. So, it's not as, I'm approaching 40. So I don't know if, a little bit of ageism is starting to come into play when I apply for places. It definitely could be a factor. I don't know. You can never prove that kind of stuff. But, it's just so much out here. And so many people will tell you it's hard out here. Like being in the job market. So whatever new concerns I got at this new place, God, I am thankful regardless of what it looked like over here. And honestly, I was in the in-between to choosing two different jobs. And one of them they took a little bit longer to get back to me. And by the time they did, I already accepted. So I had to go through, so everything worked out. God did it for us. I'm so thankful that he did. But, it really rocked my world. And, you know, like I said, first I was like, yeah, I'm going to use my employment checks. I'm going to get on YouTube and, you know, act like it didn't faze me. But it did. It did. It knocked me on my tail. I'm going to just be honest with y'all. I didn't feel like doing nothing. I didn't feel like recording nothing. I shut down completely. I did not want to be bothered. I didn't want to see other people's progresses because I was like, I felt like I failed, y'all. And more importantly, I felt like I failed my family. I felt like I failed my children. I felt like I completely and totally fumbled the ball. Even though what they terminated me for was something that they did not train me on. And I asked for guidance throughout the whole thing. And they still shut the door in my face. And it's like, how is it that when you try to do everything right, you still get the short end of the stick? And I think that's the thing that was really plaguing me. Like, I called my husband, like, immediately after it happened. Like, I'm screaming because I'm screaming in the house, like, babe, oh my God. And he's like, what? And then I told him, and he was like, what? Like, it was just, it completely and totally was unexpected. And, you know, losing your job, going from 2 income to 1 income, and you got 3 kids, like, back to school coming up. Gotta get clothes, gotta get shoes, gotta get supplies, gotta get all these things. And I'm about to have 2 children and 2 school-age kids now. Y'all, it was just a lot. It was a whole lot. And I just didn't have it in me to keep going up here. I wanted to, but I just didn't have it. I didn't have and I commend the people who can continue to go on like, yup, I'm going to just use this and I'm going to keep going. So, you know, until we get things back on track, I am going to be, I'm going to be posting when I can. I really don't want to stick to a schedule because I don't know how things are going to go just yet. Eventually, I do want to get on a plan. I do want to get a budget book. I've been deciding between the Budget Babes book or the Budget Mom. I don't really know which one I'm going to do yet. Because the Budget Mom is not releasing a book for next year. So I was just like, ugh, maybe I should get one, you know, but that Budget Babe or whatever on TikTok has a book. And it's a little bit more simplified. So I'm kind of thinking I might get that one because I don't really need a lot. I don't use a lot of those pages in the Budget Mom. Although I love her book. Don't get me wrong. I love her book. But I don't feel I'm disciplined enough to use it to its full capacity. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But yeah. So my plan going forward, I want to bring back Mini Mondays. I feel like people really did enjoy those. I did enjoy those, but I did get a little carried away with my scratch offs. I plan on bringing them back. So my hope is that I am going to start doing Scratch Off Mania Thursday, Mini Monday, and maybe a Tiny Tuesday. So we'll see. And then I might throw in some Budget With Me's. I'm really, really, really trying to ring in my Happy Mail. I don't have not one iota of Happy Mail, y'all. None. Unless I see something that's really, really, really super cute, then I will, you know, I'll purchase and, you know, whatever. But I really want to get back to my Mini Mondays because my goal is to replace the money that I use for my baby's account. So I gotta start this all over because this is empty, girl. Y'all, just naked, just completely and totally naked. It's so embarrassing, guys. Like, it's embarrassing. Look at this. And we were doing so good. Like, with my scratch off, I had saved like $780 or whatever. I think it was. And I was just so excited to go forward and all of the things. And life's knocked me right on off my course. And it's fine. It's fine. Just gotta get back on it. So I do want to take the time for all the people who have reached out to me on Instagram, thank y'all. Y'all are truly the real MVPs, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. I want to give a special shout out to E at Black and Blue, Budget with Kia, Um, Boop and Budgets, Irene, and I want to give out a shout out to South Life Budgeting. Y'all, thank you guys so much for checking in. And Miss Angela, you are the real MVP. She was sending me like words of encouragement and all of these things. Like, God got you. It's going to be all right. Like, thank y'all so much for that, because that was a time I truly needed it. And it's crazy when you know the word, you know God's word, but when life hits you in such a way, it kind of like, you know how like when you were a little kid and you were on the monkey bars and you fell just right to the point where it knocks the wind out your lungs? It's like that. It was a moment in time like that for me. My husband was so supportive. I give a huge shout out to my husband, y'all. My husband, that man is my rock. Y'all hear me? Like, he was so like, you know what, it's gonna be all right. Like, I'm the one that spazzes out immediately because my mind goes a mile a minute. Like, when something happens, that's my response. Mine is like a flight or fight, because it's like I'm thinking about 3, 4, 5 different endings, alternatives. Okay, and then what their plans if this happened. Okay, and if this happens, I'm gonna have a plan for this, and da 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 da. That's how fast my mind goes. And so my husband is truly the calm in the storm. And so I appreciate you, boo. I love you. But no, I just wanted, everyone who has been a support, thank you. Like, for real. Thank y'all so much during this time. I am going to try to get some videos out this week. Maybe one. I'm going to try to get 2. We'll see. But yeah, so I think I am going to introduce some Tiny Tuesdays. Some mini Mondays are definitely gonna bring those back. And then I still want to really bring out my scratch offs, because I am still excited to do those and all the things. I got my books, they're empty and they're ready. So in my pink one, I'm gonna have to put some more, because I've already used all those. So I need to refill that pink binder so that I can like start, because I'm gonna do it. So it's not going to be the same book, just to kind of bring some spice. I'm going to like do I got 4 books, so I have a 4-sided die. We're going to roll each different time, and that's what we're going to do. And then another thing I do eventually, probably once or twice a month, I want to incorporate my back to school savings, and then maybe Christmas. I don't know if I have it for this year, but I don't have really big plans this year for Christmas. The thing I want to do, I don't know if I will be able to. So yeah, we don't know about that yet, but even still, I still want to be able to just get them in, get things in, do what we need to do, and just really get back on track and log our journey. We haven't really been putting any money to debt, but so far, I believe the last amount was $12,000, so that's good. So I'm still planning to do a debt confession. Somewhere on the journey, we'll see. But yeah, y'all, like I do plan to get back to watching your videos, commenting and supporting again. Give me some time. I'm easing back in, because I literally left YouTube. Like, I did not watch anyone's video, because it was just a constant reminder of things that I wasn't been able to do at that time. And I was severely discouraged. So we are no longer in that spot, and it's just onward and upward from here. And I do appreciate all the love and support, guys. I really do hope that I can come back stronger than ever, and hopefully the numbers and the subscribers will continue to grow with that. And but again, yeah, that's it. If you like my channel, if you are new here, thank you for coming. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, reach out to me on Insta. I will be there and I will reply back. So I will see y'all in the next video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Please comment what you thought about the video below, and I will see y'all on the next one. Talk to you soon. Bye.